What's going on, Facebook? What's up, YouTubes? That's right, it's me, your favorite trucker, Bobby C, aka Catfish. And we've got a lot to talk about today. Lots happened in basketball, and I've got one of my closest friends, my mentor, my compadre that got me into it, my running partner on the truck, BVD. Got BVD on the line here. What's going on, Big Vol Daddy? How's Green Vegas?
What's going on? What's going on, Bobby C? That's right. It's me. It's BVD, everybody's favorite trucker with an F.
Well,
not much, man. Just hanging out.
So let's talk about some basketball. We got the last game of the season coming up tomorrow. It's an early game. I hate them early games. How do you feel about them early games? What is it, noon on CBS or ESPN?
Yeah, it's noon. I was talking to somebody the other day about that. It doesn't matter the sport. I can't stand a noon game for some reason. Before we talk about that, I want to slightly rewind and give Crying Ryan and all the Florida Gator fans and the Florida Gator team out there, I don't know what you would call this, a negative shout out or a shout up for the Gators choking and blowing an 8-point lead against LSU the other night. And then with a 2-point lead with 6 seconds to go, couldn't hang on to it and couldn't help the Vols one little tiny bit. So I will never, under any circumstances, ever, as long as I draw breath on earth again, pull for the Florida Gators in anything, ever, period. You may now proceed.
Well, I'm going to ask everybody, can y'all hear BVD? This is a new computer. I bought a new computer right after my truck wreck back in September, and it crashed on me, and I had to take it back to Best Buy, and they sent me another one. They've erased everything off my hard drive, so I'm having to build everything from scratch. So got BVD. Somebody said they can hear us. So what are you expecting out of this game tomorrow?
Well, to be honest, Catfish, I'm expecting a tussle down there. Auburn, one of the preseason favorites, I guess, in the SEC to challenge for the top, and started out pretty good, ranked up there pretty high, and they've just kind of fallen by the wayside. But I know Bruce Pearl. I know he's going to have a big sweaty speech for his team tomorrow to have them all fired up to play the big, bad, mighty Vols. They can play spoiler, and anytime a team has a chance to play spoiler, they can be dangerous. And if they get fired up from outside, what's that kid's name? Daggone it, Bryce Brown or Bryce something. I always think of the Bryce Brown that played football for UT when I think of that kid. But if he gets fired up from 3-point land tomorrow, and we're still shooting cold like we were in the first half of the Mississippi State game, we may be in trouble. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think we'll go down there and take care of business. And I'm going to say we win by a dozen.
Well, I'm feeling pretty good about it. I know with Will Wade, and we're going to talk about this Will Wade situation. He's been suspended by LSU for some sort of FBI sting. Maybe some callers can call in to the Allied Oil Tire Hotline at 855-489-7623. Phil, me, and BVD in on exactly what has happened with that LSU coach. And I don't know, Vanderbilt might sneak up and beat them. That's a lot of turmoil going on down there in Baton Rouge. I don't even know where the game is, but I'm going to check
It's in LSU.
Is it LSU? I'm going to check the call board, see if we got somebody. We got somebody on hold, and we're going to let him talk while I fix my OBS program. I had a football ticker going on the top, but I'm going to redo that. But let's bring the 843 area code in. What you got for Catfish and BVD?
Hey there.
Hey there.
Hey, Bobby Dirk. This is Pace Kid.
Hey, Pitch Kid, what's up? While you're talking, I'm
What's
gonna
up,
fix
Pete?
my ticker, and I'll let BVD talk to you.
That's all right, because I was calling to talk to BVD anyway. That's all right. You do what you got to do.
Yeah, he's always too busy doing something, to set Pete. He'll get other people to do his show for him. He gets me on here live, and then takes you on here, and he runs off to do something else. That's just psycho catfish. Can't even do his own videos anymore. That's okay. I'm happy. I'm sure you are too, Pete. Happy to be a stand-in for Bobby C.
Yeah, listen, I know. BBD, you're one of the number one people that's sick and tired of seeing me on Catfish's channel, but that's all right. Listen, I'm sick and tired of myself being on Catfish's channel, if you want to be honest about it. Anyway, no, listen, it's not football season anymore. I don't pretend to be a expert on college basketball or NBA basketball or even rec basketball for that matter. But one thing I do want to call in about is something that makes me so happy that I can barely contain myself, is the LSU cheating scandal. So everybody knows TJ LSU dad, right?
Oh, don't even get me started on that guy.
Yeah, well, I'm probably banned on his channel after today. After leaving one word comment, but I just went on his channel and said cheaters one time. That probably got me banned. But
yeah.
This guy, after the whole PED thing with Clemson, he went on a whole rant for a week or so on YouTube and on Twitter, every 5 minutes posting stuff about Clemson's cheaters, vacate their championship, vacate all their wins, this and that. And then as soon as I heard this thing on LSU today, I could barely contain myself. I went right on his channel and just started typing cheaters over and over again. But again, I don't take it seriously. I mean, first of all, I think the reason I'm calling is I think that basketball is much more prone to this type of violation than football is because of the one and done rule.
Yeah.
You don't see this paying players thing as prevalent in college football as you do in college basketball, because every single year these basketball teams, they've got 1 year to do something with these players. And so there's a much more rabid market to get these players for basketball than there is for football, in my opinion. What do you think about that?
I would agree. I don't I don't have a whole lot of input into this situation because I'm like Bobby C. I don't know exactly what'll happen, but I just my main thing here is I wish this would have been found out and happened earlier, and maybe given LSU a little bit more trouble a little bit earlier in the season, because if he's been paying players, that's cheating, period. And I know their supposed best player was out against us down there when we went down there and lost by 1 point on a bogus call at the end of the game. But the guy that stepped in for him, Smart, I think his name was, had a freaking career day and probably played better than the kid that was hurt played. And, perhaps that wouldn't have happened had this been brought to light earlier. And other than that, I got to be completely and 100% totally honest with you, Pete. I wasn't really listening to you. I was doing something on my computer and got sidetracked. My goodness.
You sound like my wife, man.
I'll jump in here. That Javonte Smart is the kid that was supposedly who Will Wade was talking about in them wiretaps. But I'm anxious to see what all went on. Is this part of that dragnet that's been going on for the last couple of years that's been getting coaches left and right with some violations? I think that's the same situation. Just keep turning over pebbles and keep finding stuff, is from what I'm understanding.
Yeah, when I start hearing FBI wiretaps, I start looking over my shoulder for Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton all of a sudden. I don't know what's going on. But here's what I really want to know, though. And honestly, the reason I'm asking is because I honestly don't know the answer to this. So if LSU's got this violation going on right now, and they're where do they rank right now? Like number 5 in the country, something like that? They're in the top 10, right?
they're not quite that high, but they're creeping up.
All right. So, but they're in the tournament this year, though, right?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
unfortunately.
All right. So, do they get punished now for this, or is this something that's going to be retroactive as far as next year or the year after that? After this whole thing is over, they'll vacate wins. If he gets found to be in violation. I'm not even going to go ahead and say that he did what they say he's doing. There still has to be a whole legal process and everything. But did they still get to participate in the tournament this year? And how does that all work?
You pretty much answered your own question right there, Pete, when you mentioned the whole legal process. As long as the whole legal process is going on, they're not going to do anything to them. My guess will be, it'll just be status quo for them. They'll play as if nothing has happened.
But is he going to be the coach next week during the SEC tournament and during the NCAA tournament? I mean, is he suspended? What's going on with all that?
He has been suspended. He has been suspended. I'll go ahead and read the statement by the university. Chancellor F. King Alexander and Vice Chancellor and Director of Athletics Joe Alleva. Recent media reports regarding Coach Will Wade are without question concerning to all of us. As such, we and university officials have taken deliberate and purposeful steps to fairly assess and adequately address this situation. As we have done since media reports first surfaced months ago, we are closely coordinating with the NCAA with every step. They have our full cooperation, and we will continue to report to them all facts and information on this matter. All of us at LSU share the obligation to protect the integrity of this institution. As such, we have suspended head coach Will Wade indefinitely until such times as we can ensure full compliance with the NCAA as well as institutional policies and standards. Assistant coach Tony Benford will assume the duties of interim head coach. That's the official statement by LSU.
Yeah, I was. That's interesting. I was looking up something on here too, Catfish, while you were reading this, and I just found a brief article on a website here about this whole LSU thing. And if you don't care, I'll read it. It's real short.
While you're reading that, I'm gonna bring on Vol General and let him just listen, because he probably knows a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and bring on Vol General while you're reading. Go ahead.
Okay. It just simply reads, LSU and their basketball program is a bunch of bunk-ass garbage, cheating son of a bitches, and any team that cheats like this should be eliminated from contention for not only the SEC, but any national honors as well, and as said per myself, can kiss my big, fat, big orange ass and go straight to hell. And that's I found that article on BBD TV blogs.
All right, so here's what I'm gonna do, because I don't want to hijack the show, and I'm not a basketball guy. So I see you got Vol General on here now. I'm on with BBD and Catfish. I'm surrounded by volunteers. I'm feeling a little bit threatened at this point. So I'm gonna get off. But before I get off, I do want to say now is the time, guys, because what is it? It's March 9th or 10th. It's not football season. Now is the time for you guys to go ahead and kick me right where it hurts, right in the family jewels, and say that Clemson sucks at basketball. And listen, I'm willing to take it. And you know what? Clemson is they're right on the bubble as far as getting into the tournament this year. And if they get into the tournament, they might end up playing the Volunteers. In which case they will lose probably by 40 points, because Clemson's basketball program is a complete joke and a farce. And Brad Brownell should be ran out of town with pitchforks, as far as I'm concerned. But go ahead.
Well, we did.
See where it hurts, please.
We have already beat you once this year, so if we do end up seeing you in the tournament, it would be, my guess, pretty much a guaranteed W for the correct color orange.
Well, here's the one thing I will say. Since I'm an ACC homer. when it comes to football. You know, and that comes with a caveat. I'm not really an ACC homer. I just like to see the SEC lose. But when it comes to basketball, I don't give a good goddamn about Duke or North Carolina or any of the rest of them. If the Volunteers make it in the tournament, unless they're playing Clemson, I'll root for them because I really can give a crap about the rest of them. And so go Vols. You're going.
We'll take.
Final Four.
We'll take it.
We'll take it.
All right,
we'll certainly take.
All right, thank you,
we'll
Pete.
take that, won't we, Catfish?
That's right. Thank you, Pete. I'm going to make a run through the YouTube live chat. I don't know if I've got anybody on Facebook, but we got Gate City Blue Devils in the house, Clemson Carson, SEC Dog, College Basketball Talk. He's a Duke fan. Let's see who else we got in here. Got George, Florida Gator fan. Two Wheels Dipper 98 says go Vols. Raymond Jordan's in the house. Let's see who else is in here. We have Pigskin Pete, Jake the Dog, John Brooks. John Brooks is in the house. Let's see.
Shout out to John Brooks. Go subscribe, John Brooks.
That's right. But what you got for Catfish and the legendary BVD, Vol General?
Yeah, what's up, BVD? What's up, Catfish? I saw y'all.
What's up, LG?
I saw y'all were talking about this whole LSU situation, and I thought I'd call in and tell you what I saw or what I think about it. Now, first off, y'all heard what he said with what the wiretap caught him saying, right? Y'all saw the quote?
I haven't.
I have. Do you have it in front of you, or do you want me to read it?
Yeah, I do. I can read to you.
Yeah, read it to us.
I was thinking about this smart thing. This is what Will Wade said. He said, I was thinking about this smart thing, and that he's talking about Javonte Smart. He was a former five-star recruit. I'll be honest with you. I'm effing tired of dealing with this thing. I'm just effing sick of dealing with this shit. Like this should not be that effing complicated. He would go on to say, I went to him with a effing strong ass offer about a month ago. Effing strong. So clearly we're talking about paying a recruit there. So I don't think there's, and when we had a coach, Bruce Pearl, who got crucified for having a barbecue. So I have no doubt this will come back to haunt Will Wade. I don't see him being the head coach at LSU next year. I see no chance of that happening. None.
What do you think this will do to Vandy's chances of knocking LSU off? I know they don't have a conference win, but, hey, they played us tough both times, so they've got some boys that can shoot the ball. What do you think?
Look, Vanderbilt's just not good at basketball. They're like 0-17. They don't know how to shoot. They're terrible. They've got a terrible coach. They don't know how to shoot. They don't know how to defend. They can't do anything right. But that being said, does the chances of Vanderbilt beating LSU go up? Of course it does. I find it hard to believe that those LSU players are going to be able to focus on basketball 100%. Now, is there a chance Vanderbilt can win? Definitely. Does that chance go up? Yeah. Is Vanderbilt going to do it? No. They're just not good enough to beat a team like LSU. Would I be completely shocked to see it happen? Absolutely not. I just don't see it happening. Do you see it happening?
I do.
I don't.
I do.
Well, I'm glad Catfish does. I was thinking as you were talking about that Vol General, the only chance I think that Vanderbilt has is the fact that they have a Saban on their team, and we all know what happens when LSU goes up against a Saban. They pucker up and choke. So maybe that'll be the saving grace for Vol fans.
What I was thinking about today is if the sanctions come down, do you think they'll vacate any losses? And if they do, would that give, or any games, any wins, would that give us the regular season championship if that was to happen? And have to, wouldn't it?
It'd be too late, though. I mean, who wants it after the fact?
That's true.
If they get if they win Saturday, they're the 1 seed in the SEC tournament, which means more than likely we'll have to play Kentucky in the second round, and which that's fine. I mean, if you're gonna win the SEC tournament, I think you should have to be required to beat Kentucky anyways.
Yeah.
But a vacated win doesn't do. It's a joke, really. Is a vacated win? It really doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Where's the tournament at this year? Is it in Nashville? Or is it in Birmingham? Where's it at?
Yeah, Nashville.
Yeah. Go ahead, Vol General. I didn't mean to interrupt you there, buddy.
Yeah, I'll say this about the vacated wins. Is it going to happen? Yes. LSU will probably have to vacate that wins, and they'll probably be taking that SEC championship banner in the regular season down almost as soon as they put it up. Now, that being said, I don't think they should. You can't take the memories, you can't take all that away from them because it's already happened after the fact, like Big Vol Daddy was saying. Yeah. I don't think you can take that away from those kids. I don't think you can take it away from the fans. I just don't think you can do it. Now, will they? Probably. Now, I don't think that will have any effect. The LSU fans will still recognize themselves as SEC champions that year. They'll all remember them beating Kentucky up there in Rupp and beating Tennessee and winning the SEC. I just don't think vacated wins. Now, on paper, Tennessee will be the only SEC champion if they can beat Auburn. But I wouldn't consider them the sole SEC champion. That's just because even if LSU cheated to get there, it still happened. Yeah. You can't take. Well,
nobody has addressed the most important question about all this, and that is, when this is all finalized and they do have to vacate wins and all these vacations are happening, will that LSU referee have to vacate his LSU shirt? That's what I want to know.
That's a good one, BVD. I never saw a picture of that. Have you seen an actual picture of that guy in an LSU shirt? I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it.
No, I haven't either, but Jimmy Hines was talking about it, and if anybody knows Jimmy Hines, if he talks about it, it happened.
Yeah, he's pretty solid.
I saw it. He was on his Facebook, and not only was he in an LSU shirt, on another Facebook post, he was in an Alabama shirt, and he said he was wearing that Alabama shirt because he lost a bet to his friend, who is also a referee, about the LSU-Alabama football game. So I don't think a real fan would be doing stuff. I don't think a casual kind of fan would be making bets like that.
I don't think a casual. I'm gonna upload it while you're talking. While you're talking, I'm gonna upload this picture for you guys on OBS. But go ahead and tell me what you think about this Auburn game while I'm finding this and putting this on OBS for you guys.
Yeah, look, I mean, Auburn is a team that's very disappointing nationally and in the SEC. Expected to be a top 8 or so team in the nation at the beginning of the year, and obviously that didn't work out for them. Bruce Pearl wasn't able to get that done. But they're a really good, solid tournament team. I think they're predicted around 7 or 8 seed right now, or maybe 6. They're solidly in the SEC tournament, and nothing they can do now can get them out of there. Even if they lose out. So they're solidly in the SEC tournament, and what scares me about Auburn is their ability to shoot that 3 ball. They're so good. They're so proficient from back there. And when you think about it, what's Tennessee's biggest weakness throughout the course of the season? It's without a doubt defending that 3 ball. So that's what worries me about Auburn. They've got guys like Jared Harper and Brown that'll nail those threes and make you pay. So if Tennessee does not defend them, Auburn is going to make them pay. They're not going to be missing those shots. So they do that versus everybody, and they still find a way to lose. They've got Okeke inside, but other than that, they don't really have a presence inside. So I expect Grant Williams and Admiral to dominate the paint, and maybe that'll open up some 3-point shots for Lamonte and maybe Jordan Bone or Bowden. So do I expect Tennessee to win this game? Absolutely. I just don't. I think it'll be a high-scoring type of game. 90-80, and that's just because of Auburn's ability to score, and that'll open up some stuff inside for Grant. They don't really have a presence inside. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Auburn lead this game at one point or another, but I do think Tennessee will get it done and win by around 8.
Oh, I think Auburn will – I think they'll build a pretty good-sized lead in the first half on us. I think they'll come out hot.
Yeah.
But I just think we're going to be ultimately too strong and too deep. As long as we play like we played, 90% of the season and play great defense and work from the inside out.
Yeah, and y'all know how much Bruce Pearl wants to beat Tennessee too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you know it. He probably won't get a lick of sleep tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, not at all.
Yep.
But I hope he don't. I hope he drowns in a puddle of sweat tonight in his bed.
Well, before we go on, I wanted to get some other guys on my YouTube side. I'm also simulcasting on Facebook, but we got Justin Blackwell in here. He said you're right, BVD. Got Dennis Wilson, Miami Hurricane fan, vodka drinker. All my regulars are back in the stream. Let's see who else is in here. I saw somebody else a minute ago. Did I mention Gate City Blue Devil? He's always in here. Well, those are the two. Did I say him?
I think Gate City Blue Devil sits at home next to his computer or his phone, waiting on me or you to start a live stream.
Yep.
He's the most dedicated guy out there, man. You gotta love that guy.
Before you go, Vol General, let me ask you what your prediction is. What you expect out of the SEC tournament? Is there any dark horses you see? I said before the season I thought LSU was going to be a dark horse for the SEC. I was proven right. But is there anybody else that can make some noise besides Tennessee and Kentucky in your mind?
Well, yeah, you obviously got the big three, Tennessee, LSU, and then, of course, Kentucky. But if I had to pick a couple teams I think could make some noise, I have to go with Ole Miss, and I have to go with Florida. I know Florida lost to LSU the other night on Wednesday. But look, Florida is as hot as anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they let us down. We were all rooting for them, and they failed us. Is Ryan in there? Is Ryan in the stream?
No, he's hiding. He's
Florida,
at home.
Florida's getting ready to be on a 3-game losing streak, too, by the way.
Yeah.
But I think I like Florida's experience. So, I mean, and by the way, Alabama, their physicality, I think they can make some noise too. Alabama, if they get it together, y'all saw what Alabama was capable of in the Tennessee game. Their physicality, their length, can give some teams a problem. And I think they're bound to upset a few teams. And if we are the 1 seed, if Tennessee does win and LSU does lose a game to Vanderbilt, Tennessee would play the winner of Florida and Alabama as it stands right now. And I would much rather play Florida than I would Alabama. And that's just because of that matchup, that physicality. Mm-hmm. That if Grant Williams is going to go try to be physical in the paint, they're going to be physical right back. Their length will give Tennessee some problems. So I would much rather see a team like Florida than a team like Alabama. And to be honest, I think we have an easier path at first as a 2 seed than we do a 1 seed. And then, of course, you get to the Kentucky game, and then all bets are off. But I think getting to that semifinal would be much easier as a 2 seed than it would be a 1 seed. But that being said, I think we all want to be a 1 seed, and so we don't have to meet Kentucky until the finals.
Yeah, I think the winner of the SEC tournament, I think they're going to get the 1 seed. I think it's going to be either Tennessee or Kentucky going to win the tournament, unless there's just some fluke. But I think the winner of that get the 1 seed. I've seen a lot of articles on Bleacher Report talking about seeding predictions, and I'm like, man, it's way too early to be talking about 1 seed and 2 seed. It'll all shape out after the end of all the tournaments. And I think the winner of the SEC, who I said was going to be a basketball conference this year, I think we had 6 last year, but this year we have a chance to have 8 teams in the tournament this year. And I think the winner of the tournament is going to be the 1 seed, unless it's somebody other than Tennessee or Kentucky.
Yeah, before I get out of here, I just want to get a question off real quick for y'all, and then I'll get out of here and let you get some more calls, Catfish. But there was this debate that was going on. I think it was Fox Sports Knoxville or something. And I just wanted to get y'all's opinion. Would you rather be a number 1 seed in the Midwest, which is around that Kansas area, or would you rather be a 2 seed in Louisville? Where would y'all rather be? Right there.
Go first, BVD.
I've heard them talking about that on ESPN and really mainly, sports talk in Knoxville. It really would depend on who we would get 2 or 3 rounds in. That the Louisville, whatever region that is, I guess it's the South region. We're probably going to end up with some teams that we don't match up with very well.
Yeah.
In that region. So the only thing the number 1 seed guarantees you is a first-round win, and beyond that, I don't know. I think our fans, honestly, General, are going to travel well no matter where we go.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I would take that 1 seed in the second. I don't know about you, Catfish. What do you think?
I'd have to look to see how the brackets are and who's in what bracket and what region. I prefer that Midwest region only because I can get to a tournament game easier on my truck and go to some actual games like I did last year, because that was an experience of a lifetime to go to an NCAA tournament game, and I went to 2 of them, and it was great. But other than that, I'd like to have a 1 seed just for the recognition. But with that comes a big target on your back. Just like being number 1, we got everybody's best game this year. Some of the teams we play that weren't very good played their best basketball of the whole year when they played us. So that's the only thing that's negative about a 1 seed. It does give you some recognition, and I think our program needs some recognition. We landed a 5-star, I believe his name's Walker, a kid, and so it's showing that Rick Barnes can recruit, and I've been wondering what's going to happen when Admiral Schofield and Grant Williams are gone. Who's going to fill that gap, fill those shoes? I mean, we've got some great players in Bowden Bone, Kyle Alexander, and we've got some good players, but that's going to be a huge drop-off. So we need to get some recruits in Knoxville fast to get back to what we were this year. That's just my opinion.
I think we'll be fine. I think Grant will be back next year. May be wrong, of course. But we got the Johnson kid that'll be back. Fulkerson, baby, we got the Fulky man coming back. Don't forget about him.
Well, we got a follower on Facebook. Thomas Crow says, I guess he's referring to LSU. I don't think they deserve to put up a banner if they are caught cheating. Just my opinion, Catfish. He goes on to say LSU paid players to come to their school, and for that they violated NCAA rules and cheated. Cheaters don't deserve championships. Thank you, Facebook, Thomas Crow. Appreciate the comment. I couldn't agree more. But I appreciate you calling, Vol General. You've always been real good to me. We got this orange and white game coming up April 13th. I'm going to try to make it to Knoxville for that. Haven't decided if I'm able to go. Oh, well, looky here, BVD. We got Ryan Strick. BVD, could you go ahead and restate your soliloquy at the beginning of the show for Ryan now that he's able to hear what you had to say about him?
I don't even know exactly what I said in verbatim there on that soliloquy, Catfish. I do remember one part of it was F Florida, and I'll never pull for them again ever under no circumstances after they choked the other night against LSU and let us down.
Yeah,
it's really what I get. It's really what any Tennessee fan gets for even. I wasn't even pulling for Florida. I was pulling against LSU.
Yeah.
But it just, man, I was so ticked off the other night. They had that game won. Yeah. I was hanging the banner already, man.
And it would be just like Tennessee to have LSU go down, and then we go down to Auburn and lose that game, and right back in the same situation. Would that not be Tennessee? That would be so Tennessee.
It would, but now we'll never get to find out. Thanks, Florida.
Yeah, thanks, Crying Ryan. Thank you. You let us down. I was actually pulling for them. I wanted them to beat LSU. It was more so pulling against LSU, but I tell you what, Ryan, your team sucks. And the Orlando Apollos, they're going down when they play Memphis, just so you know. Got to beat the old ball coach. But anyway, appreciate it, Vol General. And I guess if we don't get a caller here in a minute or two, I want to talk about some football. We're going to get on out of here. Allied Oil and Tire Hotline's open at 855-489-7623. I'm simulcasting on both YouTube and Facebook. But are you excited about spring football practice already starting? Can you believe that, BVD? It has started.
I know, man. It's crazy. The biggest thing I'm excited about is the offensive linemen. I guess I should probably read up more on this stuff. I know Wanya Morris is here, and he'll be participating in spring practice, I do believe. But honestly, spring practice doesn't do a whole lot for me anymore because it doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't tell us a whole lot about the upcoming season, especially when half of your daggone team is out with injuries or, it seems like the last few years here at Tennessee, half of our team hasn't participated in spring because they were hurt or getting operated on or deaths in the family or, just seemed like one thing after another. But, yeah, I mean, it is always fun to talk about football and have a look-see at our boys in uniforms. I can't wait for the spring game. That's always fun as long as the weather don't suck.
Somebody told me that they thought this year's spring game was going to be at night. Have you heard that?
I heard that on one of my live streams. I haven't looked up the actual starting time. I think somebody said it's going to start around 6 o'clock or something. I don't know that I necessarily like that idea, but, as long as it's warm, I don't care when it starts.
Yeah, I agree. Well, anyway, I wanted to do this live stream mainly to make sure that all my settings on my OBS, I'm glad to be on live. I want to start cranking out some live streams now that I got my computer back, and I always enjoy talking to BVD, even if it's just on the phone, just the two of us going up and down the road, but especially when we can get on here and do a live stream. So BVD, are you going to do a live stream tomorrow for the game?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's good. I'll probably go on a few minutes before the game's over and do a post-game. I'm here in Dayton, Ohio, headed to Denton, Texas, deliver on Sunday, reload on Sunday, and the Big D headed to El Paso for Monday morning. So I've got a lot of trucking to do, but I'll be on here sometime tomorrow. So anyway, before I go, I want to go through and see if I missed anybody, because it's really you, the fans, that really make this show, especially the callers. We got Vodka Drinker in here, Joshua Simmons, Georgia Bulldog, and Russ Morinor, I believe is how you pronounce that. If my memory serves me right, I think he's down there in the Panhandle. So, Russ, I hope y'all got rebuilt from that hurricane. And Slim Mosley, he's in the house. But anyway, we're going to get on out of here. Me and VVD's got things to do. BVD's got a nap to take, and I've got a nap to take. I started trucking at 3 o'clock this morning, and I am wore out. So those of y'all that's watched me, it's been a while, but y'all know what's coming next. Thanks for tuning in. Go Vols. Tennessee men's basketball team, we're going to show Auburn who's boss. Vandy's going to beat LSU. We're going to win the SEC tournament, and we're going to the Final Four. I promise you that.